Thank you so much. It's a pleasure being here, presenting a little bit of what we are doing in gasification of biomass and renewable energy. And this is a picture from our plant down in Höganäs in the southern part of Sweden. It's a 6 megawatt plant we have built in this place, and it's actually from where our business will go further. A little bit about our company, the project in Höganäs, and then where to go from here. So it's this company is 15 years old, will be 16 by the end of this year. Started in a small scale testing in a lab scale in KTH here in Stockholm. Doing first tests, feasibility tests in 150 kilowatt scale in 2009, building first gasifier 2011, making that into an integrated plant over the next coming years. Then we came down to Höganäs, and that's a cooperation within the Swedish Iron and Steel Society, and starting that project in 2016. And building the plant, taking it into operations. This plant is for substituting natural gas in reheating furnaces in this steel plant. And what we see forward is the hydrogen side of things with the project in France, power both in the US and France. Then we see synthetic natural gas here in Europe. We have for more hydrogen projects in Germany, in Japan. We see a change actually in hydrogen to make hydrogen transportable and distributed. There is an interest in methanol as a carrier for hydrogen projects in many places. And then, of course, we are working with a steel company. The question of steel industry is how to go green. And then it's, of course, to eliminate the use of carbon or mineral coke in their processes. So we are a company of today, 33 people, half of it in Höganäs and half of it us in Kista, here outside Stockholm. The process is really the new thing about making more value from biomass. And what we have done is to divide the process in three steps, doing drying, pyrolysis, and high temperature gasification in steam atmosphere. And what happens is actually that we get a very clean gas out of this. We actually have 60% hydrogen in this, and that makes our gas unique when it comes to gasification from biomass. Thing about it is that we use the heat efficiently, so the gasifier being fired at 1100 degrees, we use the rest heat from that to heat the pyrolysis at 400 degrees, and after that the dryer at 100 degrees. So in such a way we can be energy efficient and resource efficient, meaning that about 80% of the energy that is within the biomass comes out in the product in the end, in the energy gas. So we can do this from different biomasses. The feedstock we see is rather flexible. So it can be from wood, it can be from crops, it can be industrial waste material, or mixes of this. We have a portfolio of patents for the gasification process as such, for green hydrogen, the special reactor we have, how we get our carbon product and steam into it, and also coking of biomass, and doing this for steel industry. We also have a liquid a liquid process which we tested during 2021 together with Swedish Research Institute and a Danish catalytic company, Haldor Topsoe. So what is this? Well, it's about the energy situation, about bridging the gap from low-grade biomass to the industry and transport requirements in a larger scale. And we do this with this, as we say, ultra-clean syngas. And as you see, it's more or less hydrogen with carbon monoxide and a little bit of methane within. We see a very good potential. These times are testing for all of us, but you all know that the energy market here in Europe has been very volatile. And if we look upon that, the opportunity for the biomass gasification is really the best we ever seen. The biomass cost is of course going up as so do all energy sources, but not in a similar way to fossil. The high energy prices in EU, both for natural gas and electricity, gives us actually a positive incentive for green energy towards the fossil. The high prices for CO2 emissions, it helps too, so that's good for us. And we have also seen a switch that the industry being more focused on getting to know technology, but now there are projects going on in as we said, steel industry, but also in the chemical industry, which actually we haven't seen for many years. The green transport fuels is an obvious one, and with the price, especially here in Sweden, Germany as well, it's really a good incentive for green fuels. So, with the Höganäs project, where we are today, it's really a plant, 6 megawatt, meaning about 2,000 normal cubic meters of gas per hour. We have a 20-year off-take agreement with Höganäs for the product. We have built, we own, and we operate the plant. The CO2 reduction from this installation is about 10,000 tons per year. There is an expansion possibility both for gas and for the carbon product. Höganäs is in Sweden well-known company, but it's a major, if not the biggest, powder metallurgy company in the world. For the project in Höganäs, we also had some partners like SSAB, ABB, Outokumpu, Sveaskog and Södra for fuel. Financing from Energimyndigheten and Klimatklivet to Swedish Energy Agency and Swedish Environmental Protection Agency. Also Calderus for the installation of the high temperature gasifier. The results from this is we have seen the full syngas quality produced from the start in this, and we have this quality verified by third parties during 2021. We have tested this in Höganäs furnaces, and it works as specified. We still have some technical issues on char dusting in the pyrolysis, the mid step of the process, and we need to come a little bit longer with that. We have some modifications we have done for capacity, and we continue with the operational tests forward in 2022 when it comes to the Höganäs plant. And then what we see going forward, it's there are many things around gasification of biomass, as I said initially, bridging the gap. And now it's like when we start from the stem of the tree with the biomass, there are lots of different ways forward. and we are also working with different ways. But the main stem upwards is, of course, the gasification with the syngas produced, where we add a catalytic upgrade on the left-hand side. And there it means we can do liquid fuels, we can do alcohols, biogas, or any other chemical product. The good thing here is that is well-known technology. It's on the market, has been there for, well, decades. So it's really the thing is to have the gas that we can produce. Then you open up for all of these applications. The other side is, of course, on the right-hand side, the hydrogen. And hydrogen is a very hot topic for being a clean energy and being a clean energy of the future. And you can say it's not only its energy abilities, it's also as a raw material when it comes to chemical production. And there it's really a big commodity. So the need for green hydrogen is really essential. And you can also say that when the alternative today is mostly to use electricity to produce hydrogen, we can actually provide hydrogen to a very cost efficiently compared to electricity, and especially with the electricity prices right now. So what we see in this way forward is really the gaseous fuels, it's the liquid fuels, and it's also the solid, the carbon product, the biocoke. And this makes our technology platform unique. So when we look upon the hydrogen pipeline, we see two specific ways forward. One is the hydrogen for road transports, and we see that on the maritime side, it has changed from gaseous hydrogen to methanol being more of an interest because it's so much easier to handle. And having a vessel at sea with a high pressurized flammable gas system aboard is not that attractive. So we see that as the way forward. When it comes to the carbon product and steel industry, we actually see this looks a little bit like charcoal, but it's not. It's a little bit more efficient when it comes to handling in high temperatures. The steel industry here has a big issue, and the way of solving that is, of course, to find a green source of that needed carbon. We have been working with that together with Höganäs and within the Swedish Iron and Steel Society for more than 5 years now. So it's a very fascinating thing. So when we look forward, we see the opportunity for green methanol. It's been a tremendous interest in this direction, and as you see, not only here in Europe but out in the world. Green natural gas with the catastrophic development in Ukraine and so on. The Russian gas for Europe doesn't seem to be sustainable. It will be gone by 2030, it's said, and what will come instead? There must be an alternative. There must be an energy source, and we think that our synthetic natural gas is the best option for that. When it comes to power, it's obvious that there is a difference in the power market where you have intermittent type of renewable electricity coming from windmills, coming from solar power that needs to be complemented with a base load kind of power, where the biomass-powered solution will be very, very important for that development. When it's green hydrogen, I think one could say that it's a hype, more or less. You can say it's really a strong demand for several type of applications. We see that as a very good opportunity. We see that when it comes to the long-term possibility of cost-efficient sourcing of green hydrogen, the biomass-based solution from us is a very attractive solution. There is also the possibility to co-produce hydrogen and green CO2, which we have been involved in a project in France for, and we will see what will happen on that side the coming year. The last part, the green carbon for steel, it's really a large demand when it comes to these type of industries, and the sourcing of biomass will of course be a very important part of how do we use our resources in the best of ways when we go forward. So we see these opportunities, we work with them, and this is our way forward. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Rolf, Ljunggren. I have a question about competition. Of course, this is a huge market, and we need a massive amount of players. But if you look at, from your perspective, your outlook on competition, please.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to different applications in this, there are some special companies, niche companies, who have technology for one of these, not like for the carbon production, for some type of liquids. When it comes to the high quality gases, I think we are still ahead in the market, and we don't see that obvious competition in that area.
How about regulations? I mean, what we see now coming out of, well, as a result of the war that's going on, it's a high pressure on renewable energy.
Yeah.
What is your take on the need and the possibility for regulations in enhancing this transformation?
I think it will be very strong, because I think a country like Germany don't want to rely on their society's welfare on some despot in East. That will not happen. So I think the drive for this, both from, I would say, the consumer perspective, but also from the regulation perspective, will be very strong.
Well, thank you very much, Rolf Ljunggren. Thank you.
Okay.